Welcome to this episode of the Founders Fireside Podcast. Today, I am here with the founders of Junk Armor. First time doing an episode with three founders. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us on, Jasper.
Of course. All right, so first and foremost, for the people that don't know, what is Junk Armor?
Who wants to take it?
I can take it. So Junk Armor is a revolutionary athletic cup that uses foam on the sides and a hard, rigid plastic in the middle. So it'll protect you where you need it, but also have that comfort so that you'll actually wear it. Currently, 87% of lacrosse athletes are not wearing an athletic cup, and that leads to 49% of those lacrosse players incurring a testicular injury. Of course, that is not something you want, and I myself, along with Brendan, we played lacrosse junior and senior year of high school, which is where we actually started this. We'll get into that later, I'm sure. But we just hated stepping on the field knowing that our family jewels were on the line and completely unprotected. But it was a completely unfair decision that we either had to play terribly because we were wearing a cup or play well but risk losing our most important organs. And so we tried to get rid of that and make a cup that's actually comfortable and protective.
Yeah.
All right. So obviously it's a unique business to start an athletic cup company. Mm-hmm. So you talked a little bit about why you started it. Do you want to go a little deeper into that on why you started an athletic cup company?
I could take that one. So Max and I and Reese, unfortunately he was in a different team for this.
I was in a rival team.
We were in a high school incubator course where you had to come up with like a startup idea pretty much. Reese wasn't on our team, but Max and I, because we were both playing lacrosse at the time, and like every practice a kid would go down because they got hit, we were just brainstorming ideas of like a startup idea, and we're both like, we love playing sports, and so we knew we were going to come up with a sports product, and so we just came up with a new athletic cup. I think one of our friends, Finn came up with the idea to add oobleck to an athletic cup. Obviously that wasn't what we ended up going down with, but that kind of started the idea of a more like comfortable athletic cup alternative. And then we just started kind of like snowballing the idea in this incubator class in high school. Our junior year of high school, we pitched the idea then to our like districts like pitch competition, and we won it our junior year, which was super exciting, and that kind of like motivated us to keep going with the business. So then we took that high school course again then our senior year of high school, and then we've just been growing and growing with it. And
also, our senior year of high school, we competed in a local community college competition, and we got second place.
$4,000.
Which was a little aggravating, but still, yeah, went home with $4,000, and from the other one, we had $2,500. So before we actually came to IU, just in high school, we had raised $6,500 for the business, which was huge. So
Sweet. Okay, so tell me about what you guys have done after winning those competitions. What did you use the $6,500 for? And tell me about the progress so far.
Well, it was off limits for a little while because we had some issues with bank accounts. But that money is just now getting put into really good use with starting to manufacture samples for our compression shorts and cups. Right now, Max is in charge of figuring out the cups. And Brendan and I are we're in conversation with like 6 manufacturers right now, trying to figure out who's going to give us like the best quote, best material, best fit, this, that, and the other thing. And right now we have 4 shorts in the mail from Pakistan and China on the way to IU right now for us to try them out.
Sweet.
And I want to add on, when we were in high school, we came up with like a merchandise like brand or like a little apparel. It's these shirts that say "Got Balls" on them, so like the "Got Milk" font, except it says "Got Balls," and then on the back it says "Protect Them with Junk Armor." And so that was kind of like the way that we like built awareness in our senior year of high school, and then we kind of brought those shirts as well to IU. And like every time I'm walking down the street, like someone will like point out or laugh at my shirt, and we're trying to do that to be kind of like a fun, like kind of edgy, like branding, marketing tool to just like bring awareness to our brand and hopefully gain some customers in the future.
Yeah, I feel like you guys can have some really funny marketing plays that make people laugh, but also make them want to buy. So I'm sure you have like great ads coming on the
Yeah.
way, but let's talk a little bit more about the sourcing first. So you got 4 shorts on the way from multiple countries.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about earlier how the fit is really important. So tell me about the process of getting samples made and sort of the requirements that you have for these manufacturers to make the best athletic cup.
I can take. So we actually had. So initially, what we used that $6,500 for was a textile development. She was kind of a freelancer, so she designed sort of like a 3D CAD file, but it was for a textile, and so we used that file. What we did actually is we took Nike Pro compression shorts, measured them, and then had those measurements like converted into a 3D textile CAD file by her, and then we sent those measurements to the manufacturers in China and Bangladesh, and so now we're receiving those textiles back. Hopefully they will be of similar quality to the Nike Pro with all the sizing, because now we have the research and development of all of Nike, but we don't have to spend any of that money, and we get the same quality that they have.
And I just want to add on real quick that we didn't really explain the whole compression short thing yet. So basically, our compression shorts, the way that we differentiate ourselves from other leading brands, is that we have a built-in jock strap and like ball pouch. It's called. It's kind of like a
Ball hammock.
ball hammock, yeah. Built into the compression shorts, so that basically what the jock strap does is it holds the area where the cup will be placed more tightly against the body, more comfortable fit. But when Max and I were in high school, we realized that no one like wants to wear a jock strap because it looks super awkward, and there's kind of like a stigmatism around like, I don't know, wearing a jock strap. People just think it looks like super weird. So the way that we like seamed it into the compression shorts, it like keeps a cool style, but then also you get the benefits of wearing a jock strap, where it's more secure against your body and overall a more comfortable experience during the game.
Okay. So I think it's really smart to copy the dimensions from Nike. But you mentioned earlier about possibly like putting oobleck in the actual athletic cup. Tell me about the material that you landed on. Like, what ended up being the best material for the cup itself?
So I mean, yeah, like you were saying, we started out with oobleck, but obviously it's kind of hard to like keep that contained into a pouch or.
I can talk a little about this. So this was back in the high school days. This was very starting parts of Junk Armor. The initial like idea was we're gonna make this super high tech cup that is a non-Newtonian fluid, which means it's a fluid until it gets impacted by another force. So basically the idea was it's like you're wearing a fluid in your pants. Weird way to say it, but it's completely liquid and flexible and through movement, but then when it gets hit, it instantly hardens up, and that's what oobleck is. However, oobleck, like you said, is very messy. I was putting it in Ziploc bags and literally like using one of those heating irons to put them in little packages, and it was getting everywhere. It was completely impossible to manufacture. So then we moved to another foam company that actually used non-Newtonian fluids but implement it into a foam instead of a liquid. That's called D3O. And so that's what we did a lot of our prototyping with, was this D3O foam with a 3D printed plastic piece in front. However, we realized after a lot of just kind of time wearing the cup, like I said, we did this when we were in high school, so we were actually able to wear the cup while we were creating it. So we kind of realized that the D3O was very expensive and it was not necessary. So now we're using a PU foam because the parts of the cup that are touching or that have foam aren't actually exposed or won't actually be hit when you're wearing it because your legs cover the sides. So instead of using a very expensive impact protection foam, we're really just now using a polyurethane foam that is much more soft and flexible to movement than really relying on its impact protection because there wasn't much there anyway.
Okay. Very interesting on the materials. Next thing that I wanted to ask about, kind of a funny question. Everyone's got different sizes. So are you making multiple sizes of athletic cups for those maybe packing a little extra, or is it one size fits all?
That's a great
To
question.
be honest here, there's obviously going to be a need for perhaps multiple different sizes. However, with the flexibility of the cup design, for a decent amount of time, we're going to be able to stick with one size cup for just like your average high school person.
One size fits most.
One size fits most.
Yeah, so
until
like
you get
like
to,
we were saying, those foam sides, they will cave in to your legs. So if your leg, like, however big your junk area is, the sides actually conform to that. So that's another advantage we have over these other cup companies is we don't actually need to make as many sides because we don't need to make as many sizes because our sides are mostly adjustable. So really the only thing that we'll need different sizes for is when you're talking about NFL players
6'8" left
youth,
tackles.
yeah,
Maybe a little.
and youth players because
But different.
the plastic part will obviously have to change, but as far as the sides, that can be very adjustable to many sizes.
The only thing that
Okay.
needs to like have plenty of sizes would just be the compression shorts.
Mhm.
But
That
the cup would be able to fit into the same cup would be able to fit into basically any size compression short.
Okay. All right. Cool. Tell me about the incumbents in the industry. Like, who are the major players, and what does their marketing look like? Like, how are you going to stand out from them?
Right now, it is Diamond MMA has the biggest market share, at least in terms of Amazon sales, and then it's Shock Doctor. And then it kind of goes into weird niche. Like there's Comfy Cup, but that's only for little kids. There's Nutty Buddy, that's only for catchers. So right now, there isn't really. I would go as far as saying there isn't really a huge force in the space because, as Max had said, 87% of lacrosse athletes aren't wearing a cup. So like no one's even doing it in general, and we're going to attack that. It's kind of a two-pronged way. Like, one, we'd already talked about earlier. Like, we have the opportunity to make our marketing pretty funny. Like, kind of in more of like a Manscaped realm where it's vulgar but, like, funny.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to skip the ad when it comes up on YouTube. And then the other half of it will be the fact that we're going to attack all the people who don't want to wear a cup just because it sucks. And we're not after necessarily guaranteeing that if you're going to wear this cup, you're going to save every injury that could possibly happen. Like, you know, obviously that's very difficult to do, but wearing junk armor as opposed to just freeballing it out there, you are a lot better off, and it's not going to sacrifice performance.
Yeah.
Right.
And I want to say, to add on to that, like Shock Doctor, which is like, I mean, I think Diamond MMA has like the Amazon, but I think Shock Doctor is just like the notorious like athletic cup.
They have like 1 million.
They don't really have great marketing. They don't really like go very deep on their athletic cup. They like have been more on their like mouth guards and like doing like football tournaments or like making customized jerseys and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like if we really like go all in on the athletic cup, make ball jokes and like just like nut shot like things, I think we can like definitely like gain some market space in that.
One thing I want to add, sorry if we're doing too much for one question, but I feel all of our dads, if you ask anybody over 40, it was 100% of them, they all wore cups. Yeah. Now, only 13% of them are wearing cups. And so if you're Shock Doctor, you're seeing your cup sales dramatically fall. And so obviously they're not going to put as much money into the cup sectors of their business, but the problem hasn't changed. The problem still exists. The threat to your junk still exists. The only change that has happened is that cup checks have been taken away because of possible sexual
right, it's weird
misconduct that referees can do to those players. So when back like in the day, the kids had to use the cup or else they couldn't play. Now it's supposed to be their own responsibility to wear a cup, and the kids are not wearing the cup. And so that's why we're trying to come into the market and give them an opportunity to wear a cup that they actually want to wear, rather than like they would only wear it if they were forced to.
Right.
So.
That's interesting. I remember having to get cup checks.
What sports
Just
did you
'cause it
play,
was-
Jasper?
Lacrosse, baseball. Those are the main two that I had cups for.
Yeah.
Tell me about the timeline. When do you think the product will be available?
So we have a cup on the way in 2 months. And then also our compression shorts are basically
Starting to arrive.
Yeah, they will be ready before then. So we're really looking to have it in by likely for
Lacrosse season, probably.
definitely for lacrosse season. Season is early March-ish, but there is box lacrosse that'll happen around December. We should get our products in mid-November, so we can probably introduce our products to those box lacrosse players in that winter season for the December as just like a trial run, get more feedback, and then really hit it hard for the spring season, which has baseball, lacrosse, and all those cup sports.
It's good timing because we'll get that feedback and be able to do whatever iterations we need to, and then be ready for like go time.
Okay. All right.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Tell me about each of your strengths, because working with 3 co-founders, it's, you got to delegate the work and decide like who's in charge of what. So tell me about like each of your strengths and specialties.
I want to start by saying like I think that we're kind of still in like a work in progress in that regard. Like we still haven't really like figured out our roles necessarily
Yeah, we're
as
good.
a team.
Our strength is like teamwork, honestly. We'll just get a whiteboard, write down all we need to do, and then each of us just go down the list, and we'll just lock ourselves in a room until that list is done. But right now,
I mean, what would you guys say your strengths are? Like, I feel like
I would say generally I am more into the product itself, just because I spent like all that time in high school actually in the lab figuring out what feels good, what doesn't feel good, and actually physically building it. I mean, I don't know if I could name your strengths if you want me to. I don't know if you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
Brendan's definitely the best out of all of us. We went to the GEC this summer, which is Global Entrepreneurship Conference. He's definitely the best at just going up to a random person and talking to them and making that network connection. And then Reese is also very good at just staying on top of all of our like getting the bank stuff done, getting the IP stuff at least starting to roll. And you send, I think, the most emails out of all of us. So
I probably get the least response rate though out of everybody. That's my strength. It's not getting responded to anymore.
But if you send more of them,
Hey.
Yeah, right.
And Reese, you'll be better at the social media marketing. I feel like.
Hopefully, or like web design. I don't know. I've been
Yeah,
able to do
yeah.
like
yeah, you built their whole website too. So
I don't know,
Mm.
but you know.
Sweet. I'm excited to see the reels that you guys make
Yeah.
and like the TikToks.
We'll have to get some of your help
Like-
too for like photo shoots and videos and everything.
Sure, it's pretty easy, especially. Are any of you in the media school?
No.
Okay, because you can like rent cameras from there,
Really?
like really nice cameras.
do you have to be in the school for that?
You do, or
Okay.
just taking at least one class in it.
I
Okay.
think we'll be taking
Um,
a class next semester.
But your reels could be like mega viral.
Yeah.
I know.
Like
It'd be
putting
fun to
cups to the test.
Yeah.
Making like Manscaped ads that you were talking about.
make. Right. Yeah.
Do you want to be a test dummy?
No, not,
We can
not
stick-
really. But
Stick you behind a
yo,
pitching machine.
You know who would be perfect? Have you seen that guy on social media who like
Yes.
Takes
I already know
paintball
what he's
shot at
talking
him.
about.
and like does all these challenges basically?
When you like
He would be the
stunt
perfect guy.
Yeah. You got
Should hit him up.
just
Yeah.
to beat him up. I don't know. I got to be kind of careful because I remember I posted like just like clips of like people like hurting themselves, like getting their nuts crashed. But it was like a guy like swinging off this like handlebar, and he like slides
Oh,
in
yeah.
between a pole, like he like does a flip around this like it's like almost like a swing, and he like swings up and then he like goes in between a pole. And then
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure I got like our Instagram like kind of shadow banned.
Oh, man.
Because you gotta be kind of careful when you're doing like, because they say it's like graphic or it's like
Yeah.
too inappropriate to post, but
Some of them are, honestly. They
yeah. So we're gonna have to
But
figure
they
out.
need to
that-
see it.
Yeah, I
They need
know.
to see
Well, yeah,
it.
that's
You
the
need to see
reality.
it, or else it's gonna happen to them.
But yeah, we're kind of figuring out how to like stay on that line of like being vulgar and funny, and then also like not being too inappropriate and like getting banned
clever,
on.
not like weird.
Yeah.
Right. Because I feel like a lot of the time, it's going to be the parent placing the actual order.
That's the
Mhm.
thing, yeah.
So something that kind of appeals to them, but
Yeah.
also the kid where they're like, going into their lacrosse game and they're like,
Mhm.
oh, like,
Yeah.
can we get this cup?
I
And
know.
then they
Yeah.
send them the link. Where are you planning on selling? Are you going to be on Shopify, TikTok
Mhm.
Shop, Amazon?
All of the
Where's the
above
distribution?
We'll try to do all the above. I mean, we have a Shopify account where we were selling like our compression shorts initially and like our t-shirts. But then TikTok Shop was way too hard to get onto. Like I remember even like talking to people who like were really good at doing the TikTok Shop stuff, and like just getting your account started. Like there's so many regulations and like application things you need to do.
Should go like one at a time.
But I feel like the way that we're going to be able to first get cups into people's hands is by showing up to like lacrosse events, like the tournaments that are hosted,
Mhm.
getting people to actually like feel the cup, see the difference, and hopefully then buy it.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to sell directly to coaches or like athletic directors, specifically like high schools, perhaps colleges, and just put it in like the player package for when they have to buy it, and then it's
Mhm.
just like
That's perfect. Then you get a bunch of sales at once.
And then hopefully reoccurring then
Yeah.
every season.
Yeah.
If possible, yeah. But yeah, definitely getting on the like high school teams, trying to get like their like school pretty much to buy it. It will be like the big what would you call it, like wholesale, or I don't know what you would call it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's I had another entrepreneur on the podcast, and they were talking about sort of enterprise sales, like selling to. I guess a school isn't a business, but getting these
Yeah.
bigger accounts,
Yeah.
and it takes a lot more work per account. But if you get one, that's like 50 orders.
Right.
Yeah. We did have our so this was back in high school. We had our first enterprise sale of $1,500 worth of compression shorts. So we had a I don't really know how to explain who he was, but just some random dad in the neighborhood had a ton of compression shorts with the tiger logo, which was our high school's mascot, on them. And he just gave it to us for free, marked it off as a donation for himself. So he had $20,000 worth of donation credit, because that's how much he gave us worth of those shorts. And then we were able to take some of those shorts and sell it to one of the parent organizations, and they redistributed the shorts for, I think, like 50% more than what we sold it to them for. But at least at the like core of it is that we have made our first enterprise sale of $1,500, and hopefully that can keep going.
That's awesome. One of the last things that I want to talk about before we wrap it up is the pricing and cost. So if you're willing to tell me sort of what you estimate the cost of production to be of both the cup and the compression shorts, and then what you're planning to sell them for.
I'm gonna let Max take it because he always gets mad when I say I want it to be
this has
cheaper.
been like a hot topic lately.
Because
So-
I mean, you can go first.
Yeah, it's a difficult way to price it, because we have, based on our cost of goods, we have a lot of room to work with. I don't feel completely comfortable disclosing the cost of goods, but the problem is that we are a luxury item, and we don't. So Diamond MMA sells their cup for $100.
$120 for the
Is it
package.
120 right now?
120.
With the short.
Wow.
With the shorts, which is like you
Yeah.
can't get. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
And so we believe that we can sell it for that amount of money, because we are like on their tier of excellence and quality. But as Brennan was mentioning, there's the weight of, do you sell it to only people who can afford such a high price, and then you kind of just screw over all the people that can't afford that. Because, like, if you're a JV lacrosse player and you don't, like, love lacrosse that much, but you still want to protect yourself, you're not going to spend $120 on a cup.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, like, the drawbacks. But, I mean, you could
It's a
go
weird,
further
like,
into it.
limbo because we want it to be value-based pricing, obviously, because we need to distinguish ourselves. But then there's, like, the question of what Max had just said, like, how expensive is too expensive and how cheap is too cheap. But then there's another whole part of the equation where it's, like, equipment for sports is extremely expensive. And I think do you know on average what a lacrosse player spends on gear a year? It's like it's a few $1,000s a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, not.
I thought
mean,
it
it's a
was.
That's including trips.
For hockey, okay, you're right. That's
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the club fee.
Club
But I
fee,
mean-
trips, and everything. But yes.
So like a
yeah.
hockey player, that's like just the most minuscule little purchase because the hockey gear is just ridiculous.
Mm.
But I
Yeah.
mean, at the same time, I don't know.
I don't know. Lacrosse,
Yeah,
I would say,
it's-
is like a pretty like upper middle class sport. Like, not to like put terms that maybe I'm not speaking correctly to, but
No, that's true.
like lacrosse, hockey, like it's pretty much like more an upper class sport. So, but we're also then trying to get into like football, soccer, baseball, which I'm not
Yeah,
saying
well,
is like a
it's just
lower class
everywhere.
sport, but I'm
It's
saying
just
like
everywhere.
we have to like navigate whether we want to make it like just like a high end product or we want to make it more available. And also, therefore, then if it's more available, we can maybe potentially get more eyes on it, get more cups in people's hands, like get more people talking about it. So we're still kind of figuring out like what's the best.
One thing we
balance
did want
of
to do is like if we were to sell it to schools and whatnot, then that's kind of going to be enabling everyone on the team to get it. That would be at a pretty largely discounted price, obviously, just because
Yeah.
they're getting so many units. And then most likely, if you were to buy it from the website, it would be at an elevated price point. But
Mhm.
I mean, that's kind of from what we've looked into it. We haven't really thought about it too much, but we feel like that's kind of the lesser of two evils is to be able to like, if everyone wants it, then it's cheaper. But if one person can get it, you know what I mean?
Right, makes sense. When you're selling 50 of them, sell them
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
cheaper price. And if you're only selling one, more expensive.
Mhm.
Perfectly logical. Where can people find you guys online?
thejunkarmor.shop.
Yeah, so
Okay.
our website is thejunkarmor.shop. On Instagram, we got just Junk Armor. TikTok, just Junk Armor. And yeah, you can find us on either of those platforms. Hopefully, we'll be posting soon. But
Hopefully, it shouldn't be too hard to find us soon. Also,
yeah.
should be in your face.
But we're probably waiting until we get like the physical cup or at least something that we can like post videos with to be like start really like getting the ball moving on social media. So not many posts probably coming within the next like month or two, but soon after that hopefully we'll get like pretty consistent posts. But either way, you should follow us on those platforms.
And then if you are interested in reaching out to one of us, I'll just give you my email, max@junkarmor.shop. You can email that. Tell me whatever you want to tell me. We'll talk. And yeah.
All
If you
right.
want to test it, you get a free one.
Yeah.
We might have to sign some papers.
Be the,
Yeah.
be the lab rat.
Yeah. But
Test it out. All right. So with every episode, we wrap up with the last guest asking the next guest a question. So the last guest was Julie Heath, director of IU Innovates, and she's got a question for y'all.
Mhm.
Wave your magic wand. Where's Junk Armor in 24 months?
I mean,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay, so 2025 now. That would make us 2027.
Already knows. Yeah.
So the 2028 Summer Olympics are the first time that lacrosse is introduced in the Olympics at all. It's going to be in Las Vegas, I think, maybe Los Angeles. That is our Super Bowl commercial,
Yeah.
but it's just Olympic 2028 lacrosse commercial. Junk Armor right before the game starts. It'll be a 30-second badass clip. And I want to be sitting in a box office with these guys and some of our guys back at high school and watching the game and watching our commercial on the TV
That's
happen right before the game.
Great answer.
All right. That's awesome. All right. What would y'all like to ask the next guest?
I feel
Do you
like
guys have a
I
question?
can't follow that. That was a great question. That's fun, so creative.
I mean, should it be more business related or more personal?
Whatever you want.
I would ask, this is kind of a personal question, but I would say, like, really, like, why are you doing what you're doing? Like, what motivates you to, like make your business successful outside of just, like, making money? Do you think that's a
Alright.
fine question? Or?
That's a great question.
Great question.
All right. Thank you, boys, for coming on the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
Junk
for having
Armor?
us, Jasper.
Of course.
Yeah. Follow us at Junk Armor. Thank you, Jasper, for having us on. I appreciate it, man.
All right. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.